Tem Sandra Mock. I'm filling in for the mayor who is out of town, so welcome. Please be patient. It is my first public meeting in this role, and so I welcome each and every one of you.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's time to introduce our members of council. To my right is Councilmember Ed Smith, Councilmember Fred Franklin. To my left, Robert Green, Tom Lawson, and Jeff Singer. Council members, we have the agenda before us for tonight. We will take a moment to look at it.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, motion, vote. All in favor?
Aye. Any opposed?
Any opposed? I hear none.
Next section of the meeting is the consent agenda. On the consent agenda this evening for approval, we have Resolution 2013022 for the acceptance and approval of the monthly financials for May 2013. We also have the approval of council briefing and action minutes from June 6, 2013. And lastly, on the consent agenda, we have the approval of council regular meeting minutes from June 13th, 2013.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second
any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
it. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay,
Okay, this evening for presentations and or proclamations, we have some introductions this evening. I'm going to recognize Chief Deputy Brad Stanley, who has some guests of his own. I'll let him introduce the rest of his in attendance. Yes.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Council. Glad to be here before you this evening. We wanted to take just a moment. We were here, I guess, about a month ago, saying goodbye to one individual. So I want to bring before you his replacement. I have before you Deputy Joe Shue. Deputy Shue comes to us from the great state of Tennessee, so we brought him across the line to help us for a while. He is a graduate of East Tennessee State University and has a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Geography. He moved to the town of Lewisville in August of 2008 after completing his collegiate studies, and he began working with the Sheriff's Office last year in 2012. In looking through our selection of officers out here, Deputy Shue is one that came to mind. He expressed an interest, obviously, and that will go along with our community policing concept. When you live and work in the area that you serve, you're going to do the right thing and to try to better your improvement of your own community. So I present to you Deputy Shue, and if we'll take any questions, or I told him to keep his comments less than 30 minutes. So.
less than 3 minutes.
Pleasure to meet you all, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to help serve this community. Any questions for me?
Has he been instructed that he's not allowed to associate with Rick Oliver in any form, shape, or manner? And not allowed to go into Yadkin County without special permission?
We have new signs going up at the county line.
I have blinders on when I drive back to
Deputy Chief is off of Lewisville.
Tennessee.
Thank you. We get looking forward to spending time with you.
It's going to have an award.
Do you want to introduce any of the rest of them here tonight?
The others that are here is obviously your Corporal Eric Osborne for the Community Policing Program, Deputy Hancock, and then the Supervisor of the Community Services Program, Lieutenant Redmond. So again, we're welcome to be here at home as we consider it in Lewisville. So thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, just one on another matter, with regard to July 4th, I just wanted to extend for those festivities and that events. I've heard great comments, and while there may be other comments that I've not heard, I do want to say thank you for that continued partnership. I think the town working with the sheriff's office, it proved to be a successful event from what I've heard. And even coming in tonight, someone was speaking about the traffic flow had been very good. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the sheriff's office. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was actually gonna say something about that too. I thought they did a wonderful job. Living on Shalford Road right there in the middle of activity, I actually sat out on the front porch and watched for a while just to see how things were gonna go. And all the traffic was gone in 45 minutes.
It was very good, very
Completely
good.
gone. So it was an excellent job of handling it. All I wanted to do was tell people across the street, don't make a left. Don't make a left. But it, wonderful job, thank you.
Okay, the next section brings us to its public forum.
We have 2 public forums in each of our council meetings. It's an opportunity time for our citizens to come forward and talk about whatever subject that they have on their hearts. We limit it to 3 minutes. We also do not provide feedback. We take and listen to what the concerns are, and then we address those at a later time. So I have one tonight. Richard Henning.
Could I reserve mine to the last public forum,
You can.
for the good of, around there on the back where it says the good of order?
Yes, you can wait till we come to the second one. You sure can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now? Under the next section, for purchases and contracts, we have none for consideration this evening. Next section on board and committee appointments, there are none for consideration. Section 7, old business, there is none for consideration this evening. The next section it brings us to is public hearings, which we have none this evening as well. And then the next section being unfinished business, there is no unfinished business for consideration. And that brings us to new business. Before you this evening, we do have ordinance 2013024, order to collect 2013 taxes by the Forsyth County Tax Collector.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none.
Okay. The next is ordinance 2013025, in order to collect 2004 to 2012 back taxes by the Forsyth County Tax Collector.
Motion approved.
I'll second that, but I've got a question before we move forward. Ms. Bruce, excuse me, what do we pay to the tax collector each year to provide this service for us?
1%.
1%, okay, thank you.
How much is back on this? Do we, just kind of, how much taxes are we owed on that 2004 to 2012? Do we have any idea? I'm sure you know, but.
That will be done on our audit.
Okay.
And we've started that process.
Jeff, the overall collection rate in the county is 98% plus territory, so it
So it
wouldn't be,
1% maybe.
It's very minimal.
yeah, it
and,
wouldn't be that much.
Okay.
You'll have that when we do our audit. And also, I can say that the current year's tax collections have done very well.
Okay, good.
Any other discussion?
Call the question.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none.
Okay. The next under administrative reports, I have events for Shalford Square, at Shalford Square at Town Holidays. On Saturday, the 20th, at Shalford Square, there will be the movie The Lorax, and then earlier that afternoon, we will have a cornhole tournament. On the 9th of August, we will have the movie Madagascar 3, and then August 17th, we will have a concert featuring the Honeysuckle Ridge. That's it for this evening.
Okay.
Under reports, I do have a report on contracts approved at the July 3rd, 2013 meeting. On July 3rd, at our briefing meeting, we did approve 3 contracts. We approved Resolution 2013024, awarding residential street sweeping contract to McCoy's Service Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $10,500. We also approved Resolution 2013023, awarding grounds maintenance contract to Landtech Grounds Maintenance Services in an amount not to exceed $38,100. Lastly, at that evening, we approved Resolution 2013025, awarding plant bed maintenance contract to Mock Landscaping and Nursery in an amount not to exceed $21,700. The next section for this, I'd like to talk about interviews for the planning board candidates. We have, I think, Marty, was it night before last? We did conduct 2 interviews with 2 prospective candidates for the planning board, and we continue to take applications.
Hank, we have an idea of how long we're gonna leave that open at this point?
No, not really. I think we've got, right now, we have had some interest expressed since those 2 interviews 2 days ago. And we have sent out material for people who have expressed further interest in attending or being part of the planning board. You never know if they will respond and give you that material back, but at some point, if they do, I guess we could allow a proper amount of time for those that did request the material, but if they don't, I think we've got enough to go on.
Do we have a deadline for submitting applications?
No, there is not a deadline this time, so we could close it at any point.
Should we maybe establish one,
Certainly.
i.e. the end of this month? And then with, hopefully, I think the way the meetings fall in August, hopefully we'll have time to maybe give them that briefing.
Sure.
And then maybe address it at the regular scheduled meeting in August.
Ms. Walker, what do you think an appropriate amount of time to let the 2 who have received information decide whether or not they're going to return it?
Okay, I did receive information back today from the first person, and they've already reviewed a lot of it, and I told them how to get to the application. So I'm guessing I might get that tomorrow or Monday. Okay. Another person came in today and picked up an application and said they would be in very shortly. So I'm guessing that will come to us tomorrow or Monday, so.
Well, I can answer your question. I think we've got enough to feel comfortable in closing this by the end of this month.
Or even going 2 weeks from today.
I think so. I mean, given the fact that we've now interviewed 2 and have 2 potential candidates for it, I think maybe drawing it another week or 2 and then shutting it down.
Shut it, yeah, I mean, 14 more days and shut it down, and that'll give time for due diligence, if you will, so to speak.
So you're
Prior
saying
to
August 20, that's August 25th, you wanna get?
no, July 25th.
July 25th.
Yeah.
You wanna say the 26th is Friday, close it that week, on the 26th, and then go forward from there?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, nothing to hurt moving it 1 more day, but
And
I'm
what
just
we'll-
saying, 2 more weeks should be enough
no,
time.
And what we'll do is, tomorrow, we'll have the information posted where we have it available for consideration, so it does have a closing date on it.
Okay. I think we should do that, and then go ahead and try to make the appointment at the August meeting.
Okay.
I mean, that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, we can brief the first meeting and then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, you do that? Robert?
Okay.
Consensus of council?
Sure. Thank you. Okay, the next section and last section brings us to for the good of the order, and again, public comments.
Okay, we're back to public comments again. Same rules apply that I said earlier.
Nothing's changed in the end. Okay. As you know, Richard Henning, 320 Brookside Drive. And talking to Robert one day, he said, well, nobody ever comes and speaks their mind, so I'm gonna speak a little bit of my mind and tell you some of the reasons I've done some things here in Lewisville and some that the town did not like. and I'll tell you all about it. Hopefully I can do this all in 3 minutes. It's 2 items I want to discuss or tell you about. One of them is when you were complaining about the Baptist church closing off their parking lot during events that we had at the square or anywhere here in town for that stuff. The only time it's been closed off was two other times. When I started walking about 2003, trying to control my stomach and my whole health problem, I would walk early. Well, after the beach blast in that day, or 2004 I believe it was, I had to go by and clean up the church parking lot at 7:15 in the morning. I was up there with a trash bag, and another couple in the church was going somewhere to a family get-together somewhere up close to the Virginia line, I believe it was. They saw me out there and they stopped to come and help me. And it was like that every time after the beach blast. And so the church didn't do it, I did. I just said, I am not going to do this no more. And so I got me some steel rods and drove them into the edge of the concrete and put tape on them. And so it wasn't the church that done it, I done it. And the reason I done it, like I said, the last 3 years I've been chairman of building grounds, and they told me to take care of it like it's mine. So I didn't like the trash. Also, I didn't like the people laying up there sleeping in there. One Sunday morning, 9:15, when I pulled in, there was a guy laying in his car asleep, beer cans in the car, beer cans on the ground. I threw the beer cans in the car, he had the windows down, and woke him up. Told him to get out there. I should have called the sheriff and let them come pick him up, but I didn't. So that really ticked me off. And so it's not the church that's closed the parking lot off. It was me doing it. I took it on myself. I didn't go to nobody and ask them. I didn't or anything. So anyway, and results another one of the things of the beach blast. I left here on a Thursday evening. Me and my wife went up to the lake. We come back. And when I come back, I come through Farmington Road. Well, just that Saturday night, right before we got to the bridge, there was a car upside down on the side of the road, and a guy sitting there on his cell phone up against it, and he couldn't stand up because he's so drunk. And he said, "Oh Lord, I'm in a bad way now," because right there comes the blue light, and the highway patrol picked him up, put the handcuffs on, took him straight to jail. So that's one of the factors. I know you're gonna have some of that. I'm not saying it's y'all's fault that happened. And it's going to happen. And one time, at Christmas time, before the Christmas parade, we had a long-winded preacher. And he was carrying on that Sunday morning. At 22 minutes after 12, when we first come finally walking down the sidewalk, there was cars pulling in the church parking lot, pulling in facing the Shalford Road, and getting out, and guy come in there and got out and started running for another car over there. Hey, I called him back. "Hey fella, give me a little respect. How about not blocking the parking lot off so we could get our cars out?" We had 3 cars we couldn't get out on account of the way he had pulled in there. And so that's one of the things, respect me and I'll respect you. So.
All right, Richard, Mo's done his little time thing over there.
Oh, it's time? Okay. Well, I'll make it short. Bicycles down here blocking Shelford Square. I done called the sheriff several times. They say they got a right to be on the street. Yeah, but they don't get a right to sit there. I had to pull up against them, almost against a guy's tire, blowing my horn, and he looked at me like, I got a right to be here. I have talked to the sheriff's office 3 times, but anyway, that's it. I'm not going to say anything else, but I want you to stand up and let's do something about it. I don't want no gentleman's agreements. Either do it, and those parking tickets that y'all going to write off, I don't think they ought to be written off. Go get them vigorously.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to comment tonight?
asked us last week to take a look at our calendars for sometime in August when we might be available for our mini retreat. I'd like to see if we could maybe put 2 or 3 dates out there when Dan comes back. Hank could let him know what dates might work for us as a group, and they could pick one and maybe get that set.
Okay. I know we said we wanted to stay away from Saturdays.
Yeah.
On my side,
What would people think about maybe a Tuesday? Mondays and Fridays are usually a little busier for me, but Tuesday wouldn't be a bad evening if that worked for most people.
That work for most of you?
Especially in August, I'm got a potential, either the 5th or the 12th, which are Mondays, to be doing something with the Boy Scout troop, doing a presentation for them. I don't know which Monday yet, so Tuesday would work. Yeah, I would say a Tuesday easy.
Okay. Joyce, would it be okay with you if we emailed you the Tuesdays for the other ones for you in the month of August?
Yep.
And if you'll do that by the end of next week, so when Dan comes back,
I'm
we can
looking.
consolidate the Tuesdays.
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar right now that, I don't know what Hank, what you have to attend, but I know there's, recycling committee, I don't know if you're involved in that normally, that's the 6th. Public safety is the next week, we'll run MSD and then zoning board.
Yeah.
Board of Adjustment, I attend that.
Okay.
And it's usually in this room. I don't know whether we're gonna have one, we will know early in August usually. We do, we do have like.
This month we haven't been given.
We do, July 23rd, that's right.
And we went to quarterly meetings for the MSD, so we'll have one next week for that. So August, we will not have that on there, even though we have the date for it. So there will not be a Willow Run MSD board meeting on the 20th.
Okay.
What about the 20th?
That works for you folks?
No? All right. So these are 13th and 13th.
And the 27th, I don't know where you were planning on meeting, if you were gonna meet upstairs. I don't know what you were planning, but if you were gonna meet upstairs, I would just be here during the Board of Adjustment meeting. So if it's, I'm the only one that Marty would be implicated for, usually a relatively short.
That starts at 6:30, but.
Okay.
27th.
We have our meeting down here.
You said. Oh, all right, so you're available the 20th then?
They're in here.
Dan, Robert said he was thinking the 27th is when he's not available, so the 20th he is.
I'm not.
You're not. What about the
I'm
13th?
okay, any other one but the 20th.
So 6th or 13th? 13th. Does anybody have any conflicts with 6th
Just
or
waiting on
13th?
Fred to find out.
No.
He's
no,
got
that's-
Monday.
But
That's
I'm,
Monday, Boy Scout.
my Boy Scouts be the 5th or the 12th, so the
Okay.
6th or 13th, either one work for me.
Work for me too.
Okay.
What?
6th
6th
or the 13th?
You don't have anything for either one of those?
When you go out the 13th, and then we give a little bit more time to help put materials together for the renting retreat.
13th?
13th.
All right.
So, yeah.
Sure.
That week I'll be
What-
mediating training, but.
Yeah. You want to establish a time?
I would say 6:30. Same as our briefing time.
If that don't work for Dan, you can tell us when he gets back.
Well, we're available, I think, the 6th too. I mean, if the 13th didn't work for Dan, then the 6th, I think everybody's free too, so.
The 6th, available for everybody?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, 6th and the 13th.
I can do
And
Yeah.
we prefer,
Just don't give the staff as much
Yeah.
time to prepare.
we prefer the 13th, but if Dan had a conflict with it, we could go to 6th.
There you go.
All right, any other council comments?
I would like to say, you did a fine job. For folks in the audience, the first time you sit there and have to run a meeting, it's a lot harder than it looks, so you did great.
I would like to, you said,
Yeah.
I'd like to follow up on something Richard talked about, bicycles. This evening, coming up here, I stopped at the bank with the stoplight was red. This was about 7:10. The light changed to green for me to turn left. I turned left and something out of the corner of my eye, there was a pack of bicycles that did not stop at that stoplight for red. I almost hit one. Several stopped, and then the rest hit the sidewalk. But that's, I'm telling you, you have to be looking out for these things. And I was a little upset because they didn't observe the traffic law either. So that's something to think about. I understand what you're saying, Richard.
Potential retreat topic.
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem, back on the retreat, if it would, if y'all have a chance to send in any emails about what you would like to see on that retreat, so that the earlier that we get that, the faster we can work on anything that we need to.
Okay. I think we got some outstanding items too, that refresh our memories. Will that be an email, if you will?
And let's try to put a date on that too, possibly July 24th. That's less than 2 weeks from tonight. To get your agenda items for the retreat. Hopefully send those out. Okay. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second on the motion.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay.
Figure out that draw.
Thank you.